Remember this: nothingness is often just the end of human perception. Listen to this entire video to see the strange things that only cats can see and hear. Have you ever wondered whether your cat is living inside a version of home that you can never fully enter? What looks like a quiet pet on the sofa may be navigating layers of sound, scent, vibration, and motion you never notice. To human eyes, a room can feel ordinary, still, and complete. To a cat, that same room is alive with trails, pulses, tremors, tiny flashes, and invisible messages. Cats do not simply look at the world better than we do. They sample it through a sensory system tuned for survival, stealth, and constant environmental reading. That is why a pet cat can stare into empty space, freeze at a wall, or spin towards silence. The room is not empty to the cat, only empty to you. The first super sense is low-light vision, one of the clearest ways cats enter a different reality. A cat does not need darkness to vanish, but it does need very little light to keep reading space. While your eyes struggle at dusk, a cat is still collecting shape, depth, edges, and movement. Part of that advantage comes from pupils that open dramatically and drink in available light. Another part comes from a reflective layer behind the retina that sends light back through the eye. That is why cat eyes can seem to glow, because the eye is squeezing every possible signal from dimness. The trade-off is that cats do not see detail exactly like humans do in bright daylight. But when the world softens into evening, their visual system starts feeling more at home than ours. In that hour, furniture becomes pathways, as shadows become readable, and dark corners stop being blank. Your cat is not braver at night, just better informed. The second super sense is motion detection, especially when something tiny moves suddenly or irregularly. Human vision often favors stable objects and clear outlines. Cat vision is pulled toward the smallest twitch, dart, ripple, or trembling edge. A dust mote, a moth wing, or a tail tip movement can light up a cat's full attention. That sensitivity comes from a hunting brain built to notice prey before prey notices danger. So when your cat locks onto a point you cannot understand, the trigger may be movement too small for you. It may be a curtain thread shifting in airflow, an insect pausing on paint, or a shadow changing shape. What feels like staring at nothing is often precision tracking of micromotion. And cats also process rapid visual change differently, making fast movement feel more broken into readable pieces. To a cat, the world contains far more moving events per minute than it does for you. The third super sense does not sit in the eyes or ears, but around the face. A cat's whiskers are not decorative hairs. They are highly tuned touch instruments anchored deep in tissue. Each whisker can detect pressure, contact, and even subtle shifts in nearby air. That means a cat can start reading a space before the body fully enters it. A narrow gap, the edge of a box, or a wall near the cheek becomes information. Whiskers help answer a silent question every second. Can this body fit, move, turn, and stay safe here? They also help cats hunt in near darkness, when vision alone is not enough. Even the air pushed by movement can brush the whiskers and update the cat's map. So when your cat pauses at an opening, it is not hesitating randomly. It is measuring the world with a facial radar system humans simply do not have. For a cat, empty air can feel textured. The fourth super sense is directional hearing, and it begins with extraordinary ear control. A cat can rotate each ear to sample sound from different angles, almost like living satellite dishes. Instead of hearing a room as one blended field, a cat can separate where a sound begins. One ear can aim at the hallway while the other tracks something outside a window. That split attention gives the cat a moving sound map of the environment. A faint scratch behind furniture, a click inside the wall, or a bird landing outside becomes locatable. Humans hear many sounds, but cats are often better at finding the sound's exact origin. That is why your cat may swivel before the noise becomes obvious to you. The ears are already triangulating long before your brain decides anything happened. By the time you notice a sound, your cat may already know its size, direction, and urgency. The fifth super sense is hearing at frequencies that rise beyond normal human experience. Cats can detect extremely high-pitched sounds that never enter your conscious world at all. Many tiny animals, insects, and electronic devices leak sharp signals into that upper range. To you, a room may feel quiet. To your cat, it may be pricked with squeaks, whines, taps, and thin electric edges. A small rustle inside the ceiling can become loud enough to matter. The flutter of a moth, the cry of a rodent, or the whir of hidden circuitry may stand out. This is one reason cats sometimes react to walls, cabinets, or corners with eerie certainty. They may not be sensing the supernatural, only the ultra-fine soundtrack of the unnoticed world. What humans call weird behavior can be completely logical inside feline hearing. Your cat is often responding to a layer of sound that your body was never built to receive. The sixth supersense is smell, but in cats, smell is much more than simple odor recognition. Humans tend to think of scent as background, pleasant or unpleasant, strong or weak. Cats treat scent as a living archive of identity, timing, territory, mood, and change. A single room holds layered records of who passed through, where they paused, and what they touched. Your shoes, your blanket, the doorway, the shopping bag, and the windowsill all tell different stories. Cats read those stories with a nose far more behaviorally important than ours. They also use a second chemical sensing system called the vomeronasal organ. That is why a cat may pause with mouth slightly open after sniffing something intensely. It is not confusion, but deeper analysis. The cat is sampling social and environmental chemistry in a way humans cannot imitate. To a cat, scent is not just smell floating in the air. It is a map of presence, memory, ownership, safety, and recent events. The seventh supersense is vibration detection, especially through the paws, bones, skin, and whisker system. A cat does not only hear a disturbance, it can sometimes feel the world tremble with it. Tiny footsteps behind a wall can travel through surfaces before the source becomes visible. A door moving slightly, a machine starting far away, or an insect touching paper can register as signal. This sensitivity helps explain why cats respond to things before the human household does. They may feel the elevator, the hallway approach, or the floor pattern of someone returning home. Even resting on the ground gives a cat a quiet stream of information. The floor is never truly silent to an animal built to listen with the whole body. So when your cat lifts its head suddenly from sleep, the trigger may have arrived through vibration first. Long before you hear the event, your cat may already feel the announcement. The eighth supersense is balance, and it shapes how cats understand height, landing, and body position. A cat's inner ear and body coordination create a level of spatial control humans immediately recognize, but rarely decode. This is why cats can move along ledges, adjust mid-fall, and land with astonishing accuracy. To a cat, the home is not arranged on one flat human level. It is a stacked territory of shelves, backs of chairs, window edges, counters, and hidden perches. Height is not decoration to a cat, it is information and safety. The higher position changes what can be seen, heard, smelled, and anticipated. From above, the cat gains time to assess movement and choose distance. That is why many cats seek vertical places when they want control without direct confrontation. They are not just climbing, they are moving into a better sensory command center. Whilst the ninth super sense is sensitivity to subtle environmental shifts that humans usually label as nothing. Many cats seem to notice changes in air pressure, airflow, static charge, and weather before people do. A room can feel the same to you while feeling altered to a cat. The breeze under a door changes, the pressure drops, the window hum shifts, and the atmosphere tightens. Because cats live close to surfaces, whiskers, fur, and skin also pick up delicate changes in moving air. This may be why some cats become restless before storms or suddenly avoid a familiar corner. The space has changed in a small but readable way. Humans often need obvious proof before calling something different. Cats often respond when the difference is still thin, scattered, and invisible. Thus, their world is filled with early warnings that never make it into human language. The 10th supersense is a quiet reading of living beings through tiny changes most people overlook. Cats notice breath rhythm, footstep pattern, muscle tension, gaze direction, and the emotional speed of a room. They learn how sadness walks, how stress sounds in a cupboard door, and how calm settles into fabric. That does not mean a cat explains human feelings like a person would. It means the cat reads bodies honestly, through pattern and repetition. So your pet may arrive before you cry, leave when tension rises, or relax the moment your shoulders soften. To the cat, your state is not announced by words. It is carried by motion, temperature, pace, scent, and silence. Put all 10 super senses together, and your cat is not living in your house the way you do. It is living inside a richer field of clues, warnings, pathways, memories, and signals layered over every room. So the next time your cat stares into space or turns toward nothing, remember this. Nothing is usually just where human sensing ends.